us on YouTube. Today is Friday, a weekend, and you have made a fantastic choice by coming here to participate in Krishna Katha. And so now that Rekha Mataji has joined, we can start the class with this brief prayer to the spiritual master. Om Ajnanatimrandhasya Jnananjan Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurve Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padkamlam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastute तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिय वाञ्छकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंदा श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंदा हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि बोल. Okay, so I think today we have the following available and ready to read. Sukamal Radhe Mataji, Vindyavali Mataji, Preeti Mataji, Varshana Mataji, Jyoti Mataji, Sutava Mataji, and Rekha Mataji. And Simi, can you read today, or are you driving, or what's the deal there? Okay.
Yeah, I can read.
You can read? Okay, so I'll add your name. So each one of us will do 2 verses each, and we will do the same thing, reading Chad, which is 1 chapter of Bhagavad-guta, chapter 9. Today, let's get started to each. Sukamal Radhe Mataji.
You're not sharing the screen, Mataji.
I'm not sharing the screen. Look at that. After so much of fuss on trying to share, I was not sharing it. How bad is that? Okay, let me know. Can you see that? Can you?
Yes,
Yeah.
now.
Yes, not much.
Text 1. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, My dear Arjuna, because you are never envious of me, I shall impart to you this most confidential knowledge and realization, knowing which you shall be relieved of the miseries of material existence. This knowledge is the king of education, the most secret of all secrets. It is the purest knowledge, and because it gives direct perception of the self by realization, it is the perfection of religion. It is everlasting, and it is joyfully performed.
Okay, I'll just make it slightly bigger for the next person. Okay, text 3, who's coming in?
Me, but this one,
Tell me.
it be. Those who are not faithful in this devotional service cannot attain me. O conqueror of enemies, therefore, they return to the path of birth and death in this material world. By me, in my unmanifested form, this entire universe is pervaded. All beings are in me, but I am not in them. Hare Krishna.
And yet everything that is created does not rest in me. Behold my mystic opulence. Although I am the maintainer of all living entities and although I am everywhere, I am not a part of this cosmic manifestation, for myself is the very source of creation. Understand that as the mighty wind blowing everywhere rests always in the sky, all created beings rest in me.
Hare Krishna. O son of Kunti, At the end of the millennium, all material manifestations enter into my nature. And at the beginning of another millennium, by my potency, I create them again. Hare Krishna. Mataji's story.
2 verses.
The whole cosmic order is under me. Under my will, it is automatically manifested again and again. And under my will, it is annihilated at the end. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna ji. O Dhananjaya, all this work cannot bind me. I am ever detached from all these material activities, seated as though neutral. The material nature, which is one of my energies, is working under my direction, O son of Kunti, producing all moving and non-moving beings. Under its rule, this manifestation is created and annihilated again and again.
Sorry, Mataji, there was no internet connection, so I had to do.
No problem. You joined at the right time. You have to start reading.
Yes. Fools deride me when I descend in the human form. They do not know my transcendental nature as the Supreme Lord of all that be. Those who are thus bewildered are attracted by demonic and atheistic views. In that deluded condition, their hopes for liberation, their fruitive activities, and their culture of knowledge are all defeated.
O son of Pritha, those who are not deluded, the great souls are under the protection of the divine nature. They fully engage in devotional service because they know me as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, original and inexhaustible. Text 14. Always chanting my glories, endeavoring with great determination, bowing down before me, these great souls perpetually worship me with devotion. Hare Krishna.
Simi?
Yeah, okay. Mataji, can you scroll? Yeah. Others who engage in sacrifice by the cultivation of knowledge worship the Supreme Lord as one without a second, as diverse in many and in the universal form. But it is I who am the ritual, I the sacrifice, the offering to the ancestors, the healing herb, the transcendental chant. I am the butter and the fire and the offering. Hare Krishna.
I am the father of this universe, the mother, the support, and the grandsire. I am the object of knowledge, the purifier, and the syllable Om. I am also the Rig, Sama, and Yajurvedas. I am the,
Sorry. Yeah.
I am the goal, the sustainer, the master, the witness, the abode, the refuge, and the most dear friend. I am the creation and the annihilation, the basis of everything, the resting place, and the eternal seed. Vindhyavali Mata.
Okay. O Arjuna, I give heat and I withhold the send forth the rain. I am immortally and I am also death personified. Both spirit and matter are in me. Those who study the Vedas and drink the Soma juice, seeking the heavenly planets, worship me indirectly, purified of sinful reactions. They take birth on the pious heavenly planet of Indra, where they enjoy godly delights.
When they have thus enjoyed vast heavenly sense pleasure, and the result of their pious activities are exhausted, they return to this mortal planet again. Thus, those who seek sense enjoyment by adhering to the principles of the three Vedas achieve only repeated birth and death. But those who always worship me with exclusive devotion, meditating on my transcendental form, to them I carry what they lack and I preserve what they have.
Text 23. Those who are those who are devotees of other gods and who worship them with faith actually worship only me, O son of Kunti, but they do so in a wrong way. 24. I am the only enjoyer and the master of all sacrifices. Therefore, those who do not recognize my true transcendental nature fall down. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna ji. Mata ji, thoda scroll kar dijiye. Those who worship the demigods will take birth among the demigods. Those who worship the ancestors go to the ancestors. Those who worship ghosts and spirits will take birth among such beings. And those who worship me will live with me. Text 26. If one offers me with love and devotion a leaf, a flower, a fruit or water, I will accept it. Hare Krishna ji.
Whatever you do, whatever you eat, whatever you offer or give away, and whatever austerities you perform, do that, O son of Kunti, as an offering to me. In this way, you will be freed from bondage to work and its auspicious and inauspicious results. With your mind fixed on me in this principle of renunciation, you will be liberated and come to me.
Mataji, Rekha Mataji can't read, so Simi can.
I envy no one, nor am I partial to anyone. I am equal to all, but whoever renders service unto me in devotion is in me, is a friend is in me, and I am also a friend to him. Even if one commits the most abominable action, abominable action, if he is engaged in devotional service, he is to be considered saintly because he is properly situated in his determination.
He quickly becomes righteous and attains lasting peace. O son of Kunti, declare it boldly that my devotee never perishes. O son of Pritha, those who take shelter in me, though they may be of lower birth, women, Vaishyas, merchants, and Shudras, workers, can attain the supreme destination.
How much more this is so of the righteous Brahmanas, the devotees, and the saintly kings. Therefore, having come to this temporary miserable world, engage in loving service unto me. Very good. Engage your mind always in thinking of me, become my devotee, offer obeisances to me, and worship me. Being completely absorbed in me, surely you will come to me. Hare Krishna.
Okay. Reflections.
The last one is the one. Engage your mind always in thinking of me, become my devotee. Offer obeisances to me and worship me, being completely absorbed in me. Surely you will come. And the 25 also.
What was it about 25 that you liked? Or that stuck out to you?
You said something, Mataji?
Yeah, you said N25. So I was asking you, what was it about 25 that struck to you?
At 25, Yanti Deva Vrata Deva. That's those who worship the demigods will take birth among the demigods. Those who worship the ancestors, they will become there in them only. Those who worship ghosts, they will become, and spirits will take birth and being. And those who worship me will live with me. So very important that we should be worshipping Supreme Personality of Godhead, not other than other like demigods and then ancestors and like that.
So, but what is wrong about going to demigod's planet?
He said demigods planets we would be, that is temporary, will be there for a while and then come down again. And any other thing, we could go there and will come down. But we worship God, Supreme Personality of Godhead. We live with Him. That's what I thought.
Okay, yes, that is correct. The key thing about demigods is the permanency. They are
Yeah.
not, although they might be living for a very long life that looks like they are Amar, but they are not.
And
Okay.
same thing in this 34, you just completely keep in your mind on me, and then surely you will become to me. You will come to me. That's what in 34, last one he says again.
Good. Others?
Hare Krishna Mataji. Mataji, in 29, Krishna says, I envy no one, nor am I partial to anyone. I am equal to all, but whoever renders service unto me in devotion is a friend, is in me, and I am also a friend to him. I like this last line.
Samaham sarvabhutesh.
Hold on, let us speak. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, he says, I'm friend to him who whosoever renders service unto me. And I'm also a friend to them.
Where else does he talk about being a friend? Go ahead, complete your thought first.
Mataji, I was just correlating with today's life that, you see, in this life also we are friend to those who are friend to us. So, I mean, there has to be an equal relationship. Otherwise, you see, the relationship doesn't last very long. But relation cannot be one-sided. It has to be both ways. So Krishna very clearly has mentioned here that I am also friend to him. So we are very lucky that if we are his friend, he will be friend to us.
Interesting thing that you said that when there is a relationship, you are looking at reciprocation, right? That if I'm being friendly, you are expecting that other side party to also reciprocate and be friend, and that's when the relationship go on. So does that mean that if somebody is an inimical to us, then we will behave inimical to them? Reciprocatory
No,
reciprocation of relationship equal
your
both
question
sides.
is Hare Krishna. No, your question is absolutely valid. That if somebody is not friendly towards me, being a devotee, but I have learned from Bhagavad-guta and all the scriptures that I should leave that place and go away and keep distance from such people, but do not say anything against them. Sometime in life, they may
that's the so that is the response or handling of that emotion, right? But I'm going to the root there, and I'm asking that if somebody is inimical to us, what should be our response to that?
I think Mataji must stay away from such people.
Stay away from such people. Are you confusing envious and inimical? If somebody is inimical to us,
Mataji, sometimes what happens if somebody is inimical to us, they from their behavior, they teach us many a times certain things.
Right.
that-
But I'm asking about the internal feelings. I'm talking about the internal feelings.
I
If you get to know that I am your enemy, how will you react to that emotion, or to that knowledge? You will stay away from me, that's fine. But even if you stay away from me and you go away to another country to be away from me, right? I'm asking what should be going on in your mind. Right? So I'll bring up a verse.
There will be many questions in my mind. Why is she enemical to me?
Can we ask question why he's or she is enemy to us?
So you will have a communication with them, right? So you're trying to resolve that negative feeling that is coming from that
Yes.
side. And so you will talk and have a conversation, heart to heart, adult to adults. That is one, right? That why this is happening. And then Varshana would also think like, what did I do, or what exactly is going on, why this is happening, right? So,
Alright.
so again, that there is an inimical, somebody is inimical to, like is our enemy. So let's look at this verse from 3:25-21, where we have the conversation between Devoti and Kapildev.
That means that we'll try to find out the reason for why that person is an enemy to me, or reason if it is from my side, I will try to resolve that.
Okay, that's good. Yeah, so solutioning it, right? Tiktikshava karunika surhida sarvadehinam ajat shatravah shantaha sadhava sadhubhushanaha. Okay, whose turn is it to read?
Preeti
Varsana
Mataji.
Mataji. Preeti Mataji, yes.
Preeti, give us the translation.
Yeah. The symptoms of a sadhu are that he is tolerant, merciful, and friendly to all living entities. He has no enemies, he is peaceful, he abides by the scriptures, and all his characteristics are sublime.
Okay, so they are describing a sadhu. Are we sadhus? Are we aiming to be sadhus?
No.
No.
We are aiming, Mataji.
Okay,
We are aiming.
okay, I asked two questions, so I don't know no was the answer to which question. You're
We are
aiming
not
to be sadhu.
sadhus, but
We
we
are
are
not
aiming to be
sadhus.
Yeah,
sadhus.
so then give me full answers. Okay, now let's continue on. Purport, who's going to read?
Yes. A sadhu, as described above, is a devotee of the Lord. His concern, therefore, is to enlighten people in devotional service to the Lord. That is his mercy. He knows that without devotional service to the Lord, human life is spoiled. A devotee travels all over the country from door to door, preaching be Krishna consciousness, be a devotee of the Lord Krishna. Don't spoil your life in simply fulfilling your animal propensities. Human life is meant for self-realization or Krishna consciousness. These are the preaching of sadhu. He is not satisfied with his own liberation. He always thinks about others. He is the most compassionate personality towards all the fallen souls. Therefore, one of his qualifications is karunika, great mercy to the fallen soul. While engaged in preaching, engage in preaching work, he has to meet with so many opposing elements, and therefore the sadhu or the devotee of the Lord has to be very tolerant. Someone may entreat him because the conditioned souls are not prepared to receive the transcendental knowledge of devotional service. They do not like it. That is their disease. The sadhu has the thankless task of impressing upon them the importance of devotional service. Sometimes the devotees are personally attacked with violence. Lord Jesus Christ was crucified Haridas Thakur was caned in 22 marketplaces, and Lord Chaitanya's principal assistant Nityanand was violently attacked by Jagai and Madai. But still, they were tolerant because their mission was to deliver the fallen souls. One of the qualifications of sadhu is that he is very tolerant and is merciful to all fallen souls. He is merciful because he is the well-wisher of all living entities. He is not only well-wisher of human society, but a well-wisher of animal society as well. It is said here, svadhāham, which indicates all living entities who have accepted material bodies. Not only does the human being have a material body, but other living entities such as cats and dogs also have material bodies. The devotee of the Lord is merciful to everyone. The cats and dogs, trees, etc. He treats all living entities in such a way that they can ultimately get salvation from the material entanglement. Shivanand Singh, one of the disciples of Lord Chaitanya, gave liberation to a dog by treating the dog transcendentally. There are many instances where a dog got salvation by association with a sadhu, because a sadhu engages in the highest philanthropic activities for the benediction of all living entities. Yet, although a sadhu is not inimical towards anyone, the world is so ungrateful that even a sadhu has many enemies. What is the difference between the enemy and a friend? It is a difference in behavior. A sadhu behaves with all conditioned souls for their ultimate release and material entanglement. Therefore, no one can be more friendly than a sadhu in relieving a conditioned soul. A sadhu is calm, and he is quietly and peacefully follows the principles of scripture. A sadhu means one who follows the principles of scripture and at the same time is a devotee of the Lord. One who actually follows the principles of scripture must be a devotee of God, because all the Shastras instruct us to obey the orders of the personality of Godhead. Therefore, sadhu means a follower of the scripture injunctions and devotee of the Lord. All these characteristics are prominent in a devotee. A devotee develops all good qualities of the demigods, whereas a non-devotee, even though academically qualified, has no actual good qualification or good characteristics according to the standard of transcendental realization.
So what is the difference between friend and enemy?
Madhuri?
There's a difference in behavior.
Yes.
Sadhu behaves with all conditioned souls for their ultimate relief from material entanglement. Therefore, no one can be more friendly than a sadhu.
Yeah, so you see, the difference between enemy and a friend is a difference in the behavior. How a person behaves with you, he can behave with you in a friendly manner, he can behave with you in an inimical manner. But when we talk about the sadhus, right? Sadhu, let's just go back up to the verse. Ajata, right? It says Ajata Shraddha, inimical to none. Yeah. So this animosity, right, is a feeling that is in your heart. And so there were examples that were given there, right? Jesus Christ. And then again, Jagai and Madai, they hit Nityananda. But Nityananda and all, although Jagayan and Madai were considering Nityananda Prabhu to be their enemy, and that's why they attacked him, but in reciprocation, Nityananda could have done anything, like he would have killed them. But he didn't do that. He tolerated that, because toleration, titikshva, is also a property of the devotee.
Even
Right?
Lord Chaitanya wanted to punish them, but Nityanand said no.
Right. No, exactly. Right? So that is the quality of a sadhu. So, for example, when we people say that Yudhishthir had no enemies. Now, how do you understand that? That Yudhishthir has no enemy. The big Mahabharat Yudh was done, right? It was fought for him, because he became the emperor after that, right? And even in the Kunti Maharani's prayers that we do, and
Yeah.
which we will look up momentarily, there's 1.8. It goes to 37, I think, the 37th verse here, where Krishna is leaving Hastinapur and is going back to go to Dwarka. And so she is here saying, Kunti, whose turn is it to read?
Yes,
Mine,
my
Jyoti Mataji.
Oh, yeah. Sorry.
Translation. Oh my Lord, you have executed all duties yourself. Are you leaving us today, though we are completely dependent on your mercy and have no one else to protect us? Now, when all kings are at enmity with us.
So
Purport.
this is
The part
Kunti. Purport we don't have to read, but this is what Kunti Maharani is telling to Krishna, and this is right
Yeah.
after the Mahabharat war is over. So she's saying that, are you leaving us now? All kings are at enmity with them. So all the kings are in enmity with Kunti. So obviously they are in enmity with Yudhishthir, who has now become the emperor of the whole world. So there are so many people who are his enemies. So, but then we describe him as Ajata Shatrava, because although people might have an inimical behavior towards you, but in your heart, and that's why I was asking the question, that what goes on inside your heart, what should be your feelings toward that person? A sadhu does not feel inimical towards the enemy, and that is why they say that a sadhu does not have any enemy. Because from inside, he doesn't feel it. Although from outside, so many people will be behaving like that, right? So that's one thing I wanted to emphasize here. The second thing is that this is the verse that you liked, right? I envy no one, nor am I partial to anyone. I'm equal to all. But whoever renders service unto me in devotion is a friend in me, and I'm also a friend in him. So sometimes people misconstrue this statement, and they assume that, or not assume, they think that it's a controversial statement. First he's saying, I'm not partial, I'm not, nor am I partial to anyone, and immediately next he's saying, oh, but if somebody is a devotee, I'm a friend of them. So one has to understand this, that what exactly partiality means, right? So here what he is saying, when he's saying I'm partial, I'm nor am I partial to anyone, he's saying his rules apply equally. His rules will apply equally to whether somebody is his friend or whether somebody is his enemy, right? The rules will apply the same. Now, one of the rules is that if somebody is his friend, if somebody behaves nicely with Krishna, then Krishna is also friendly with him. So the rule is not saying that if you are ever Krishna's enemy, Krishna will never be your friend. No, all that Krishna is saying is that if you become my devotee, I will be friendly with you.
Will be friendly.
Like that. So keep that in mind. I saw Preeti's hand. Yeah, Preeti, go ahead.
What I understood that how we can be not inimical is to tolerate. If somebody is inimical towards us, we have to tolerate. But although we do tolerate, but in our mind a lot of things go on. That why is she doing, and then we go and criticize that person with our husband. Somebody listens. What do we do, Mataji?
That's true.
Right. And that is why for a sadhu, it is not just titikshava. It is not the titikshava that will carry you forward. Karunika is also there, merciful. And mercy means that it's a causeless thing. So although somebody is inimical, so what happens in the heart of a sadhu? That's why it's amazing. The heart of a sadhu is just an amazing place to be, because even if somebody is if somebody is inimical to us, even if we try to put on good behavior and
They
don't do
might change.
anything, yeah. If you put on good behavior, definitely it'll have its effect. But what I'm saying is that there's something that goes on inside our mind all the time. So I might just think that, oh, I'm initiated. I'm not expected to do this kind of a behavior. Somebody shouted at me. Somebody behaved badly with me. I should just smile and say, okay, Prabhuji, okay, Mataji, and come out. But inside, I'm seething with anger. I'm like, oh my goodness, let me go. And then, like Preeti Mataji said, the first the possible person that we turn to in the house, which is mostly our Prabhus, right? We turn and we say that, right? Now, that is why I keep on saying that Krishna is bhav grahi Janardana. He knows the bhav inside you. He knows what's going inside you. And that's what he really cares for. He doesn't care upar se kya dikhaya. He doesn't care what you showed outside. Right? Because that's all false. But what's going on inside your mind, when he knows, sarvasachaham hridi sannivishto, he lives in your heart, so he knows everything that's going on there, right? So if we go into the heart of a sadhu, when somebody behaves inimically towards a sadhu will, inside his heart, he will have so much of mercy. And he will have compassion and pity on that person. Because, like, why is he behaving like that? Because he knows to behave inimically towards a sadhu is a very, grave sin. And so now he's feeling bad for that person that, oh, he's committing a sin like that. So you see, it's a very different mood. Yes, our first instinct might be to go away and stay away. But look at the high level sadhus that were described in the previous verse, right? Jagai, the Nityananda Prabhu, Jagai Madai. Jagai Madai were the enemies, but how they tolerated and how they behaved with them, right? Because the tolerance is coming because they have mercy for them. Otherwise, the tolerance will not come. Right? Ajat Sattva, Shanta, they're peaceful. The peaceful is also important because when you continue to be in the peaceful mode, and if something agitates you, you will try to come back to your normal state quickly. And your normal state is a peaceful state. If your normal state is not a peaceful state, and then some Shatru comes and agitates you, then you will continue to be in that state. You won't be able to forget it. Now, ultimately, you'll do something about it, which will be wrong, like that, in the wrong way. So these are...
Sorry.
Yeah. So let me just complete my thought. Just hold on to that thought, right? So then it says sadhava is abiding by the scriptures, right? So now one of the things that we were thinking was that when somebody is inimical to us, how do we handle that situation? Because it is agitating situation for us, right? And that is where you're saying that if our mind has not reached that particular stage where we consider all our enemies to be not our enemies, then yes, before any more damage is done, you leave that place, right? And then after you leave that place, where do you go? Right? So wherever you're going, try, and whoever you're talking to, and it is important for you to talk, because if you keep your emotions all bottled up, they will in any case escape and come out one day in the wrong time, in the wrong way. So we should talk to a person who is our senior, right? Talk to a person who's your senior. Never go and talk about these things to a junior, because we'll mess up with their minds. So go talk to your senior and go with a mood of not criticizing, not prajalpa, not blaspheming anybody, but here is a situation. Tell me, help me, how do I handle that situation? Because it could be a person is being inimical to me because I was inimical to them last birth or last month, right? So sadhava is abiding by the scriptures, thinks about that, knows the laws of karma. What goes around comes around. Always think like,
And here it says, Mataji, Sadhu Bhushana is adorned with sublime characters. That is Sadhu Bhushana.
Yeah, these characters is what I'm describing to you right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, now I think there was a hand raised and then Preeti also had a question. A hand raised is Rekha. Is that you, Rekha? You are on mute if you're speaking. I don't know, I saw iPhone. There's usually Subodhini's iPhone or Rekha's iPhone. I don't know which one is which today.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Parul here. Is it
Okay,
showing my
Parul.
name or my phone?
It's showing iPhone.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Mataji, my question is, from a devotee perspective, what should be our tolerance limits?
Just the other day, I was hearing Vaisheshika Prabhu, and he was talking about, I think the name was Vasudev. was it Vasudeva? Somebody correct me. And who had his body which was full of leprosy. And it was so bad, and like it had pus and all that kind of stuff, typically where all the bad things come, right? And so there were insects that were feeding off of his flesh, which was, every now and then was dripping from his body. And he was so merciful to them that if, so obviously they're inimical to him, right? They're chewing off his body, what more? So then if an insect fell off or a worm fell off his body, then he would pick it up and put it back on us. So I'm not even saying that ever that you get leprosy or anything like that, or that everybody has to be or aim to be at that level now, or think that we are at that level. These are very high examples that are given in the scriptures. And you tolerate to the level of toleration, and that is where the association of devotees comes into picture, right? So you should always reach out to senior devotees and explain to them, and maybe that person is really inimical, and maybe somebody needs to go and talk to that person. So they will make it happen for you if you go to the seniors or go to your spiritual master and ask, right? So surround yourself with devotees or your mentors or guides or servant contacts, whoever they are, and don't keep things bottled up, but don't react also when somebody is behaving. But once you notice this, that somebody is behaving inimical to you, that's fine. You noticed it, to keep taking on for further discussion. But at that point in time, if you're unable to tolerate it, then as Vashana Mataji suggested, you leave that place and go. Right. Now, was there a question or something?
Yes, Mataji. You had mentioned this enmity and enviousness. They are not the same thing, or there is a tinge of each other.
Not necessarily. Very interesting. Envy is a very interesting behavior. Envy is a very interesting, it's a very interesting thing. In envy, what happens is that, suppose like I want to be a nice singer. I want to be able to sing bhajans and I'm not able to sing because God has not given me a good voice, right? And then I see somebody else singing very beautifully. So I want to have that power to be able to sing. I don't have it. Somebody else has it. And instead of appreciating that, which a sadhu would do, I actually feel very bad about it. And so bad that I want that thing to be taken away from that person. That is envy. So envy is like, inside you, all these emotions are going on. The other person does not even know. It's all inside our heart. They might just come and talk to you even very casually and normally, but they don't know what's going in your heart. Whereas in our heart, we are seething and we are boiling and we are so like that. Why is it like that, right? Jealousy and envy have got a subtle difference between them. Jealousy is when somebody has got something, right? And then I wish I had that. Isn't it like, oh, you got a beautiful diamond set. I wish you have it, right? Envy is that, oh, she has a beautiful diamond set. I wish she dies. That is envy. And so these kind of thoughts that come into our heart and our mind are very, very dangerous because they will only kill ourselves. I mean, yes, envy can lead to you going and killing the other person also, which we see in the story of, which story do we see in Srimad Bhagavatam, where because of envy somebody was killed?
Chitraketu Maharaj's son.
Chitraketu Maharaj's son, exactly. Right? So the wives, the other million wives, they schemed and ganged and they killed. So envy can lead you to that level, right? And animosity could be that you could both be vying for something, like Duryodhan and Pandavas. They wanted to have that. There was one kingdom that they wanted. They were fighting for it. Duryodhan was thinking it rightfully belonged to him. Pandavas thought that it belongs to us because it belonged to our father, like that, right? So there is animosity between them. But yes, envy can lead to a lot of many other consequences to that. Was there another question? Because I think I heard one more voice. Okay, no, then let us go to the verse for today, which is, who is going to tell us the verse for today?
9.16.
9.16. It's a short, sweet verse, so good conversations here. Aham kratur, aham yajñaḥ, svadhāham, aham auṣadham, mantro हमहम evājyam, aham agnir, aham hutam. Synonyms: aham, I. Kratuḥ, Vedic ritual. Aham, I. Yajñaḥ, smṛti, sacrifice. Svadhā, oblation. Aham, I. Aham, I. auṣadham, healing herb. mantraḥ, transcendental chant. Aham, I. Aham, I. Eva, certainly. Ājyam, melted butter. Aham, I. Agniḥ, fire. Aham, I. Hutam, offering. So how many times is the word aham surfacing here?
7.
7. Good.
8.
8. 8.
I think it's
8,
8.
mine.
Is it 8?
8.
Yes, Mataji.
8.
What is it Mataji said?
I was asking how many times has the word aham appeared here?
Oh,
8 times, Mataji.
Okay, good. All right, so now what is he saying? That, but it is I who am the ritual, I the sacrifice, the offering to the ancestors, the healing herb, the transcendental chant, I am the butter and the fire and the offering. So purport, the Vedic sacrifice known as Jyotishtoma is also Krishna, and is also the Mahayajña mentioned in the Smrti. The oblations offered to the Pitriloka, or the sacrifice performed to please the Pitriloka, considered as a kind of drug in the form of a clarified butter, is also Krishna. The mantras chanted in this connection are also Krishna, and many other commodities made with milk products for offering in the sacrifices are also Krishna. The fire is also Krishna because fire is one of the 5 material elements and is therefore claimed as a separated energy of Krishna. In other words, the Vedic sacrifices recommended in the Karma Kanda division of the Vedas are in total also Krishna. Or in other words, those who are engaged in rendering devotional service unto Krishna are to be understood to have performed all the sacrifices recommended in the Vedas. So before we go further, I wanted to bring up what we have been doing. So just a couple of few verses from the last time. So let's go here. And we were talking about the extremes of people, right? So one extreme of the people is text 11. And who's going to give me text 11?
Yes, Mataji. Fools deride me when I descend in the human form. They do not know my transcendental nature as the Supreme Lord of all that be.
Okay, so that is one, right? There are fools who then think that this is the Krishna who came 5,000 years ago, was a human being and not Krishna, right? So those are those people. Okay. Then text 13. Who's going to give me 13?
Me, Mataji.
Oh,
Simi can read.
O son of Pritha, those who are not deluded, the great souls are under the protection of the divine nature. They are fully engaged in devotional service because they know me as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, original and inexhaustible. Always
Right.
chant.
Hold on. Yeah. So then one extreme were the foolish, right? And on the other extremes are who?
The great souls who
Great
are
souls
engaged
who
in
are doing
devotional
what? Who are
service.
doing devotional service, right? And then we continue on, and the next person is going to tell me, what do these great people do?
Always chanting my glories, endeavoring with great determination, bowing down before me, these great souls perpetually worship me with devotion.
Right? So this is what they're doing. So one extreme was the foolish who don't think Krishna is God. Other extreme is they're like completely dedicated, right? And then last week we talked about the in-betweens, right? Who's going to give me the in-betweens from text 15?
Vindhyavali Mataji.
others who engage in sacrifice by the cultivation of knowledge worship the Supreme Lord as the one without a second, as diverse in many and in the universal form.
Right? So then we talked last time about three types of people, right? Some who think of themselves as the Lord and they worship themselves, right? And we talked about that one without a second, and then who do the demigod worship, right? And then they do the universal form. So three types we talked about that, right? So he's saying that, okay, whatever you do, if you're a demigod, you'll be doing sacrifices for the demigods and all that, right? But in today's verse, Krishna is saying, but it is I who am the ritual, I the sacrifice and offering to the ancestors, the healing herb. Like if you're doing, earlier on we had read, right? Those who worship the ancestors, go to the ancestors.
Yeah.
Right? So then here saying like, okay, if whatever you're offering to the ancestor, that also is whatever that you're doing over here is all actually Krishna, right? Now, if we go to Bhagavad-guta, 4.24, it's a very famous verse. Brahma arpanam brahma havir.
Vi brahmagno brahmana hutam brahma eva tena gantavyam brahma karma samadhina.
And what's the meaning of that?
Spiritual contribution, and then butter you put in havan.
Okay, whose turn is it to give us the translation? Read the translation.
A person who is fully absorbed in Krishna consciousness is. Yeah. A
Whose
person
turn?
who is fully. Am I?
Whose turn was it?
No, Preeti Mataji.
Yes, Mataji.
Preeti is still with her? Preeti?
Yes, Mataji. A person who is fully absorbed in Krishna consciousness is sure to attain the spiritual kingdom because of his full contribution to spiritual activities, in which the consummation is absolute and that which is offered is of the same spiritual nature.
Okay, purport. Next person.
Yes, Mataji. How activities in Krishna consciousness can lead one ultimately to the spiritual goal is described here. There are various activities in Krishna consciousness, and all of them will be described in the following verses. But for the present, just the principle of Krishna consciousness is described. A conditioned soul entangled in material contamination is sure to act in the material atmosphere, and yet he has to get out of such environment. The process by which the conditioned soul can get out of the material atmosphere is Krishna consciousness. For example, a patient who is suffering from disorder of the bowels due to overindulging in milk products is cured by another milk product, namely curds. The materially absorbed conditioned soul can be cured by Krishna consciousness, as set forth here in the Gita. This process is generally known as a yajñaḥ, or activities, sacrifices, simply meant for the satisfaction of Vishnu or Krishna. The more the activities of the material world are performed in Krishna consciousness or for Vishnu only, the more the atmosphere becomes spiritualized by complete absorption. That's very kindly scroll.
Yeah, I'm scrolling.
The word Brahma, Brahman, means a spiritual. The Lord is spiritual, and the rays of his transcendental body are called Brahma Jyoti. His spiritual effulgence, everything that exists is situated in that Brahma Jyoti. But when the Jyoti is covered by illusion, Maya, or sense gratification, it is called material. This material veil can be removed at once by Krishna consciousness. Thus, the offering for the sake of Krishna consciousness, the consuming agent of such offering or contribution, the process of consumption, the contributor and the result are all combined together. Brahman, or the absolute truth covered by Maya, is called matter. Matter, dovetailed for the cause of the absolute truth, regains its spiritual quality. Krishna consciousness is the process of converting the illusionary consciousness into Brahman, or the Supreme. But the mind is fully absorbed in Krishna consciousness. It is said to be in samadhi or trance. Anything done in such transcendental consciousness is called yajñaḥ, or sacrifice for the absolute. In the condition of spiritual consciousness, the contributor, the contribution, the consumption, the performer or leader of the performance, and the result of ultimate gain, everything becomes one in the absolute, the Supreme Brahman. That is the method of Krishna consciousness.
Yeah. So why I brought this verse over here was that we were talking about Brahma Arpanam Brahma Havir, right? So whatever the fire of consumption, Havi, you're putting butter, right? And what is today's verse saying?
That I am the butter and the fire
The
and the offering.
everything.
Right? So that is what, in that chapter number 4, he is only talking about in the third person, right? Everything becomes transcendental. But here he's telling you what exactly is transcendental. And he's saying it is I. So now he has brought in some personality to it. Over there, talking about Brahma Jyoti, there's no personality there, right? In that verse that we read just now. It's the effulgence and all that. But here, that is a key thing to keep in mind over here, is that this is what, when you engage in everything, anything that you use is Krishna. And we have read elsewhere also, right? He enters into every atom, everything comes out of him, earth, water, fire, air, ether are his energy. So everywhere it is just Krishna. It's just that we are not aware of it. No. So I will stop here. It's Utap's bedtime.
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Yeah.
We were talking about enmity.
Mhm.
And I was just going on in my mind. It has actually never happened with me. Only once I felt that somebody spoke something again. And that was only once, Mataji. And that thought I carried for some time in my mind. But at the same time, I felt that probably the person has been influenced by somebody else to say so. He is actually not that kind of a person, because he has never behaved with me in that manner. So I felt that just forget it. I mean, I just told myself, forget it. Mataji, it is easy to forgive, but it sometimes becomes difficult to forget. So what should one do?
You can forget only after you have forgiven.
Oh, really? I felt I have forgiven.
Yes. Then you will slowly forget. Yeah. You'll slowly forget. And that's the mind, our biggest enemy. Right? You have forgiven. You have made up a sankalpa that, okay, fine, whoever did that, I have forgiven them. But yet the mind keeps on coming back every now and then. But if you ignore the mind, then it will go away. After some time, you will forget. But if you don't forgive, then with a very great frequency, the thoughts will keep on coming back to you. He did like that. She did like that. It was wrong to me. Why did they do that? They did like that, right? Yeah. But yes, forgetting is the best thing to do. Forgiving is the best thing to do. Because sometimes people get into the karmic mode also. And so they are saying, so when somebody does something bad to us, I can do two things. I can forgive or I can retaliate. Now let's take what happens if I retaliate and why I retaliate. So one of the reasons that I would retaliate is that I could be thinking that this person, well, Number one, I might not retaliate to them thinking, I've already done that. And it's my karmic reaction that is coming back to me. Right? So that's one reason. I have already given a slap to that person. Now this person is slapping me, fine. Just take it, right? And another thing could be, I could be very smart and I could say, oh, but what if that's the first time this person is slapping me? I never slapped this person. Now I need to do that, right? So now I react. But it's always a good idea not to react. And the reason for that is that in either cases, whether you had slapped them before or you had not slapped them before, when you respond to their slap, you are starting what is known as a karmic chain reaction. So you slapped in the 50 births ago. Now they come here and they slap you, and then you slap them back. And guess what? Are they going to sit quietly? They'll slap you back, and then you slap them back, and they'll slap you back like that. It'll keep on happening. This is a karmic reaction chain. It keeps on going, and the only way to cut that chain is to forgive and get out of that. Right?
Mataji, there's one, I think, a class of Guru Maharaj. The title is Don't Get Angry on Your Instrument.
Of karma. On the instrument of your karma. Yeah. Yeah. And who is the biggest instrument of our karma? Our spouses. I'm not kidding. They really set us straight. Yeah. Because you have to live with them, right? So tolerance, titikshava, karunika, surhid, sarvabhutana, all that comes out. Sadhu bhujana. You ask for jewelry from the husband, well, the husband says, well, how about this jewelry? Titikshava, karunika, sadhu bhujana.
Another question, Mataji. As we were discussing, you said, are we sadhus? You asked this, and we said no.
No, you should not have said no. We should be aiming to be sadhus.
That's what my question is, Mataji. That's what actually I'm coming to. That we are, if we haven't become perfect sadhus, but we are on the road of becoming the right kind of sadhus.
Yeah.
Am I right?
Yes, and that is always that's always a good situation to be in, because the moment I start thinking that, oh, I'm a sadhu and I'm such a great sadhu,
yes,
then the fall down begins at the same time.
Yeah, that's what we said, Mataji, right? That you are not a sadhu, but you're aiming to be one.
Yeah.
Yes, that's why
Hoping, I
people
would
write,
say.
right? Sometimes people write your servant and in their emails, and then sometimes they write, aiming to be your servant, aspiring to be your servant.
No, your aspiring servant.
Yeah, like that. Yeah. So people write. It is inculcating humility through repeated activity. Right? All right, Madhajis. It's Sutapa's sleeping time. She left. Reminder, Vindhyavali should also go to sleep. Okay, then I forgot to mention that tomorrow, is somebody trying to text me, or are people trying to join? I don't know. Chat. Okay. Yeah. So what I was saying was that tomorrow I'm going to give tomorrow is Saturday, right? Yeah. I have a program. I have a home program, and it starts really early for India, so it will be recorded. So don't worry too much. It starts at 5:15 in the evening Pacific time, which will be 8:15 on the East Coast, and then goes on for about until 6:30. It's in the evening.
Same this Zoom?
Yeah. I'll send an announcement.
So, Mataji, Sunday evening we have a class at 7 o'clock, right? For me.
India time, yeah.
Yeah. I'm sorry.
Oh, you're
so
in
I'll be
India?
broadcasting this. Yeah, I'll be broadcasting this. Keep it on Facebook and YouTube. Yeah, better to watch it on YouTube because Facebook videos now disappear.
Vasana Mataji, you're still in India?
Yes, Mataji, we will be leaving on 23rd, early morning 1:40.
Coming here. Coming here?
Yes, Mataji, Atlanta.
That's good.
Okay, good. I have to take your leave.
Okay.
Go. Yeah.
One check.
Take care, everybody. Vanchikalpatarubhyascha
Rupasya
kripa
kripa
Vasudobhyev
sindhu
cha
eva cha
patitanam
patitanam
pavanebhyo
pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo
Vaishnavebhyo
namo.
namo namaha.